Official disclaimer that I, Mystic, am an employee of Wizards of the Coast on the D&D team.
Last time on Utopia podcast, the party had made it to their first night on the road between Wimston and the gate in search of the Satyr party. After lots of conversation on the road, everyone settled into sleep while Godfrey takes the first watch. Garachaius returns. On second watch, Livy and Scylla have a conversation about their argument at the Lying Woodpecker, and the rest of the night goes without notice. In the morning, as they wake, is where we find the party.
All right, you all wake up to see a giant direwolf sitting next to Godfrey and the smell of breakfast as Morgus starts making it. Do you say anything, Morgus, before that to Godfrey, being like one of the first ones awake?
What sort of meat does your friend like, Godfrey?
Godfrey will look at Garachaius.
Just does what a dog does. Wolf does. Just looks back at you.
And probably anything.
Morgus experiences a tiny bit of familiar envy and goes back to cooking.
Is it what you smell breakfast?
If there's a light up, there's either a fire under her, she's groggy as all get out. And so I feel like this morning, I'm going with groggy. She's gonna wake up and be like, oh, the wolf pups are back. They got a lot bigger. Where's breakfast? And then it's not until like halfway through her meal, she's like, when did that get there? We can have pets now?
We've had pets.
Always been allowed.
Well, Bitsy never really seemed like a pet. She's a little polite.
She's not really a pet, actually.
I have a pet.
Is avocado a pet or a food group?
Why not both? You know?
You pull out pet and they're just like fully avocado formed their flesh overnight.
I mean, right now it looks like it's one of your 5 a day.
Morgus, you want to use avocado in any recipe?
This is why we didn't have pets.
That I will be harvesting the flesh of your pet for breakfast? Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes,
we've been doing that.
Of course I do. It's good avocado.
He also likes it.
Oh, is it sort of part of grooming? Bit.
I don't know. He just always seems to like it.
Well, no, but like if it's an avocado and then it grows and then you groom it, might be a part of like normal grooming and hygiene. I never thought of that. Thank you, Livy. Morgus takes and makes like sort of an egg scramble with like a little bit of tomatoes and avocado and salt and pepper and.
Yeah.
You all right, Scylla?
Yeah, I'm so good.
You seemed a little disturbed by that, Zilla.
Mm-hmm. She turns her back. She's got... she pulls out of her bag just a bit of something hard from the last town.
Yeah, so it's like rations and hardtack. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like rips into it and turns her back on the food they're cooking. It's family fucking pets.
I don't have a pet. I have a familiar. It's different. What is that awful sound that dog is making?
I was gonna cut it out. Don't bring attention to it.
We look over and Garrikias is just slurping on a boba tea or something.
I'm just picturing an old flatulent dog now.
Oh no.
What's the difference between a pet and a familiar?
The familiar is sort of bound by service magically and can't refuse orders.
So
Well, absolutely.
Pets just
can't.
live in your house and
That
don't pay
one.
rent.
is that a pet or a familiar? We're not killing it, so I'm assuming it's one.
All right, maybe it's time I have the bigger conversation about Garrikias. So Garrikias returned with this last night, and Godfrey will take out the piece of information that he got about Nyx and Nyx's friendship with Medusa.
Would you like to read it for the class?
Sure. Let me pull it up.
I imagine Godfrey put it away in his bag. Now he has to pull it up.
Erebus was alone in the world by age 10. Her family had left her mother passing in childbirth, and her father leaving her in the cottage home one day before she had gotten out of bed for breakfast. He just never came home. So Erebus quickly took to being kind and helping others around the town in exchange for bread, eggs, and conversation. One day, while asking for work, Erebus met a man in the street. He was holding the hand of a small, lavender-haired child. The man's hooves clopped gently on the cobblestone street of the village as he approached Erebus. She kindly asked if his home needed washing, required garden weeding, or if his chimney needed to be swept. She had become a very adept worker in the months after she was left to her devices, so much so that she always made rent on time, and no one minded her hustling in the streets. The man invited Erebus into his home and asked if she needed dinner. She said she was grateful for the offer, but would prefer to do her work and be on her way. He wondered if she would sweep the cottage in exchange for a few coppers, and she agreed. But neither the man nor his daughter would leave her alone while she worked, as most others would. They would ask her questions about her life, interests, and education. After several sweeping visits to the cottage and one or two dinners with the man and his daughter, Erebus began to look forward to her time in their home. He and the young girl formed a fast friendship, and after finishing his work, would play with her around the cottage. Erebus didn't take long to become a staple at the dinner table. She and Medusa's friendships grew fast and strong. As they grew older, Erebus continued to live independently. Still, the two young women would hang out in her cottage doing what young women do: gossiping, painting, baking, cooking, reading, laughing, and being happy. Medusa stormed into Erebus's cottage one day, the flushed cheeks and swollen lips much later in the evening than Erebus would typically have expected her. She told them about this handsome man, a minotaur she had met in the clearing while picking feverfew. How mystical he seemed, and how intelligent and dreamy. This was the first time Erebus felt a heavy knot settle in her stomach. Erebus was supportive and showed enthusiasm for her friend as Medusa continued to meet with the Rudy, but began to feel more lonely as they spent more and more time alone. So continued until Erebus met Arudi, whom she also thought was very handsome, and they all began to spend time together. On the wedding day, Erebus knew something wasn't quite right. The knot in her stomach had grown into a boulder, a heavy weight. that she carried with her at all times, and every moment she saw Medusa and Arudi together added the finest amount of heft to the stone within her. She married them with a smile. She wanted as much as she could to be happy for her best friend, for her new friend, for these two incredible beings and their happiness and love, but it was on that day that Erebus realized she loved them too.
No.
Oh, that sounds awfully messy.
Wait, why is she unhappy if she loves them both? They're family, aren't they?
A different kind
think
of
it's-
love.
Together?
Romantic.
Oh, even the gross kind. That's disappointing ending to the story.
Along with that, Garakai is here, and Godfrey gestures at the wolf.
Wags his
has
tail.
received a bit of a promotion, has changed forms, and is now been sent to be a personal bodyguard of mine.
So he takes orders?
He might.
So
That
he's
is
a
up to him.
familiar.
He might be, I don't know.
But do you give him scritches?
I did last night, but only if he wants them. And Godfrey
so he's
will look
a
at...
pet?
I mean, it's a weird thing to say
Yes.
because I presume Gerkaius is like a sentient person who just happens to also look like an animal sometimes.
There was an additional addendum there that told me to be safe if we were going where we planned to go.
The satyr thing or the gate?
The satyr thing.
Oh,
When are we not safe?
It's heavily implied that that is Arudi's realm, and that he has full control over it.
I had hoped we weren't going into a situation where somebody at some point had given us tattoos without us knowing, with absolute abandon. But I guess it's comforting to know we know there's a risk.
It also might be a risk to all the people of Wimston who have chosen to go already. I believe
Then we have to
Carling
go.
left together.
I did not hear what you said, Liz.
Oh, sorry. I said, then we have to go. I mean, the warning's no deterrent.
if anything, the warning kind of makes me want to go even more.
I mean, it would be rude if we were invited, to not show up.
It's so true.
Be nice to know we were going to a party we were invited to.
Everyone does have that invitation, right?
We on our foot,
Yes.
don't you? Didn't you check?
Scylla checks the bottom of her foot.
It's there.
Godfrey will check and show everyone.
Not on Godfrey's foot.
What?
Ah.
Oh, this is awkward, friend.
I'm sure they allow +1s, Godfrey. We wouldn't leave you behind.
I don't think they do.
It's a party.
Who's got a writing utensil and a steady hand?
And
Why
magic
would we
that
need
rivals
those two
the god.
things?
Not ticklish, are you?
I still don't understand where these questions are leading.
I'm just saying, I used to work a door at this place back in Wortworth, and we would have different nights, and different nights would have different stamps, and sometimes you'd get these kids who would, normally they would just kind of go like this and press them together, but it's mirrored, so it doesn't work as well. Then you get the art kids who would just try and copy. Looks like shit, but who's really paying attention with that many people on the door, huh?
You've lost me.
Don't worry about it, Godfrey.
How do stamps play into this?
We'll sneak it in.
We can,
Winking aggressively.
if we mimic the tattoo, they may
first
not
we
be
would-
looking hard enough.
We would need to know where we're going first, right?
Well, yes.
You have somewhat of an idea. So anyway, the long and short of that is this wolf is Garakias. I will no longer have a raven following me. It is now just going to be this wolf.
Who's your pet?
Nevermore
Yes.
will you be having a raven follow you.
I mean, it's kind of, he's more like a co-worker.
I like
A companion? It's weird. He is very conscious and able to make decisions for himself, as I imagine Garakias is running circles at his own tail.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very intelligent.
He's really having a blast in this new form.
The autonomy is evident. She leans
I mean,
in
if
to
I-
Livy and goes, "You want to bet on what the next form's going to be?"
I'm hoping a sloth.
You know,
I don't think that's going to be what it is, but I hope.
Sizing up seems to be.
They're very cute, and I imagine they give great hugs.
But just stares at this like dog running around chasing his own tail in confusion. And goes, I know that there's some people in the world who look more like animals, like the very nice bear man from the tavern. But are you sure about that, Godfrey?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Just squints really close at the direwolf. Yeah, okay.
Stops and
If you
rolls
just-
over and shows you his belly.
If you just look into the eyes, there's a deep intelligence there.
Gives you kind of like the side eye and then goes back to looking at the wolf. Really trying to see what you're seeing here. I'm really trying.
Mouth open, upside down, looking at you, Ziva, with the belly, and his tongue's just like hanging out as he's a little tired from running and chasing his own tail.
Isabel will like slowly put her hand out to give it belly rubs.
You like barely start touching the fur, and his foot just starts.
Yes! Get some good squidges. Real convincing.
Well, welcome,
All right, so-
Garakias' new form back to the party.
Barks loud.
Alright, so we should get back and trying to... Oh, did she say anything else? Or he, they.
It was asked that I don't die again.
No. Patient
Out
and
of-
concerned.
Concern or consequence?
I'm reading concern.
Okay.
Well, let's find this grove. And I guess party. And also try to make sure nothing bad happens. And apologize for digging up his child's grave.
Maybe we don't mention that part.
I'm pretty sure he already knows.
I just feel like if he doesn't, it'd be a really bad first impression, so maybe we should wait till he brings it up. I mean, we're still invited, so...
I mean, if he doesn't know... No. You shouldn't not say you did a bad thing just because you want someone to like you.
Yeah, but sometimes trying to ask for forgiveness for a bad thing you did too soon doesn't help anyone.
I assume as you're continuing to talk, you're kind of packing up camp, getting ready to head out.
Yes.
Garikaius disappears into the woods, comes back with a rabbit in his mouth just as you're ready to leave. Goes to town.
Man, you're really liking your new... Oh no, you killed the rabbit.
I mean, he's got to eat too.
It's
Not
cyclical.
that your eggs were bad, Morgus. I'm sure they were great.
I wanted that rabbit to live a long life.
My dad used to
I
take him
thought-
behind the shed and skin him.
That was never going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just a rabbit. They make good eating.
It's a cute
That one I'm
rabbit.
pretty sure is not an intelligent, right?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's dead, so no.
All right. You all pack up and head out. I do need a survival check from whoever is leading the party as we lose the road in this first leg of
I
the
don't
morning
think I'm
journey.
leading. I just want to do it.
I can... 19.
Yes.
I can do that.
5.
You got a 19, Scylla?
Yes.
How are you steering Ziba again?
I think at this point, if we're heading off early, half asleep, and dealing with animals, I'm just going to... How are you... You and I are about similar sizes, I think.
I feel like it's more Scylla's leading, and then every once in a while they're like, get out of the freaking, there's poison ivy there.
Yeah, I'm just, every now and again, I'm just gonna kind of like tap you with the back of my hand on the shoulder and just go, can you fucking stop? You're gonna get an infection.
Incredible.
Yep.
All right.
I actually recently did get poison oak, so this is really
You're already breaking out.
Is anyone looking for signs of the Satyr party?
Yeah.
I think by this point, yeah, that's gonna be the focus.
Okay. Give me a group investigation then. We'll take the average.
Ooh. It has to be that skill.
Oh. Well, it's
14.
not going to be a problem, y'all. Natural 20 for a 27.
Nice.
Fucking hell.
19.
What did you get out of?
Well, that's a natural 1 for a 0.
Yeah, everyone's rolling.
I got 9.
I'll take the picture.
Accurate.
I'll take the picture.
So what was yours,
That's
Livy?
19?
And Silo got a 19 as well.
14.
14, 19, and a 7.
0.
9.
And a 9. Okay. The nat 20 and the nat 1 are just, we're throwing those out. We're going to use, they balance each other out.
The
So
average.
what's the average of 14, 19, and 9?
About 14, 13.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't
Do
just
the
It's
calculator.
actually
20.
14.
It was
I think it's
27.
14. I'm pretty sure it's 14, isn't it?
14 plus 19 plus 9 divided by 3 is exactly 14.
I did the math.
Yeah.
Math was done.
The mentals of maths. All right.
Yeah.
I would say you all meander a little bit. And then maybe an hour or two into walking, the conversation starts of like, I swear I saw that tree before, kind of a thing. But you're not really that lost. And then you start to see hoof prints. Seem to be bipedal hoof prints moving in a certain direction.
I think we might be onto something.
and you're able
Yes.
to follow them.
Minotaur.
How hot are we going into this?
We don't even know what we're going into.
Oh, exactly.
Well, it's a party, isn't it? Shouldn't we all look hot?
Yeah, there are some parties you arrive to in a certain way.
Nope.
Boop.
Yeet.
There are also some you leave in a certain way.
What do you mean a certain way? Like, do we need a ride? Like,
No, I just mean there's an approach.
Casually, yet
swagger, I got
confidently.
ya.
Yeah, something like that.
Like we belong there.
Well,
But more importantly, I feel like we should talk about how Godfrey might just not be able to come with us. The
Well, how
Satyrs,
different is this than a birthday party?
the
So,
Satyrs
look-
said that if you don't have the mark, you just won't be able to find it. You just won't be able to go.
And this is also Arudi's realm, where you will be subject to his whims and creative impulses.
You can't tell me what to do.
I mean, he can't tell you what to do, but he could tell the entire world around you what to do.
What?
Have you ever
So what
had
is
to
our
lose-
goal at this party, I guess, is more of my question right now. What are we trying to accomplish so we could stay centered as a party if we get separated?
well, if the people of Wimsden are at any risk, I think we keep an eye on them, make sure they get home safe. If it's just a party, fantastic. If they're in danger, then we deal with it.
I also think we need to find as much information about this god as possible, about all of the gods as possible, if we're trying to stop this war and find a middle ground. Right now, our main goal is finding Maishiria and hoping she stops things, but I think finding out more about these gods would be to our advantage.
So do we go and we listen?
We talk, we ask questions. And if we meet him, we ask questions from the source.
Is that what you do at parties? I've only been to birthday parties.
You mingle.
I didn't bring a gift. Are we supposed to bring gifts to these?
I don't think so.
Okay. We're fine showing up like this, right? Like, am I supposed to change or?
Oh, have we had any specific description of what sort of party this is?
I think Livy would have talked to them about the information he had known. It has been a while, so what I learned was basically this was a series of competitions and individual party games, and at the end, the people who win get to boink other satyrs.
Oh yeah.
So,
And obviously,
I remember this conversation.
And obviously, Zilla, the child, is not going to be participating in the gift.
Yes. So, Godfrey, I don't know if that's something that you'd look out for. What is the age limit on this party?
I'm
Yeah,
very,
I mean, I was
very
invited.
sad that I don't have an invite anymore. Ooh. It'll be up to you. You four. I'll be running support. Stand outside.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't much like the fact that I was given a tattoo I didn't ask for, but I think I'm coming around to it.
Yes,
So you're gonna help me win all the games?
Yeah,
Ooh.
we can win the games. Just promise me we'll ask for a different prize.
I really hope it's hide and seek. I'm good at that.
Horrifyingly good at it. But yeah, I think that's our goal.
Okay, so we will arrive at this party, finding information and saving the people of Limpston. That's how we're going to arrive.
And winning.
And winning.
I think competing is a more reasonable expectation, because I think there might be some interesting entanglements about winning that we might want to avoid.
Well, speak for yourself. We don't know what we don't know yet, Morgus.
I know what I know.
All right, break.
Maybe I don't get out much. I don't know.
And I don't know about you all, but Livy's gonna seems a little bit excited. He's gonna jaunter forth in the direction where he thinks this is.
Yeah. You all continue to follow the hoof prints if the party is following.
Mm-hmm.
Great. You follow the hoof prints until your 8 hours of travel for the day are up.
How far is this party?
And at about 6 hours, Morgus and Scylla, your connections to the arcane and to the natural world begin to bring little inconsistencies to light in your vision. An awkward shimmer of magic out of the corner of your eye, Morgus. Scylla, you see a bush that you've never seen before randomly. A large fern with like purple blue leaves. Just small little things as you're walking.
Getting real weird around here.
Yeah, you're seeing this shit, right?
What are you seeing? I'm seeing sparkles, but like not my usual sparkles.
I mean, that's not from around here.
That's pretty.
Yeah, don't go near it. Don't inhale it. But it's not normal for here.
Should probably recommend it if anybody starts seeing a light show. Oh, goodness. If anybody starts seeing a light show, just try to keep your wits about.
Zip up! Don't touch it!
Oh dear.
Awesome. It's not like constant, but does become more frequent as you get to the end of your walking for the day.
If there's anything new that I haven't come in contact with or anything, I'm going to take that same thing, the cloth that I wiped up some of Morgus's blood with, and just kind of pat it up into and roll it up into the cloth and stick it back in my bottom of my gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
Bracer thing.
Do you press forward, knowing it's an extra exertion for yourself, or do you make camp for the night?
I think we should rest. It's been a long day. We don't know how much longer it's going to take.
It has been a long day, that's true.
I'm tired. How much longer are we walking?
Not much more tonight. Let's set up.
You set up camp.
Heck yeah.
Suspiciously easy.
What do you want to organize watches tonight?
I'll take a watch. I haven't taken a watch for a little while.
Sure.
Unlike the previous evening where it was pretty natural for the season, what you're used to, the sunset and the moonrise, you notice that to the northeast, the direction you've been walking, the sky has just kind of in general been a bit darker. And back to the southwest, the direction you've come, you don't see... You see the bright colors of the sunset as it goes down, but you don't see those impacting the northern sky.
Huh. Weird.
Have we already crossed through?
Morgan? Can Morgus? It's gonna be weird, but can Morgus do a bit of a magical vibe check?
Yeah, give me an Arcana check. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from like what I've been seeing, I think Morgus is gonna maybe try to pull on some of those threads of magic like he does with Wall of Force a little bit, just to see if magic responds the same way or if we have somehow crossed over into somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a natural 1 for an 8.
You're not sure.
Magic is still magicking, so...
Garakias has like wandered off the way he did before when he went to get the rabbit. And he comes back and at your feet, Godfrey, he just drops this beautiful cherry-filled Danish out of his mouth.
Where did you find this?
Wags his tail, kind of looks back the way he came.
Looks so tasty.
I mean, this might mean there's a table close by.
Sure hope so.
Do you want to
Yes.
stop this camp breakdown and follow?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Danish for you, Ziva. You shouldn't eat it. It's been in Garakias' mouth.
I was just going to say it's covered in slobber.
I cast Prestidigitation and hold my hand out.
The slobber is gone.
Borgus could clean it.
Slobber is
I
gone.
don't want the dog food. I want my own.
Give me the
All
dog
right,
food.
Garakias, lead us to the cherry Danishes.
I want the dog food.
Brush is
Okay,
really...
there you go. You have.
The brush
Thank
is
you.
really high at this point, so he's kind of like burp, burp. Even though like he can clearly just like walk through it in his direwolf form because he's very large, but it doesn't take long. It's like a 5-minute walk, and then you look over and you see about 10 satyrs just sleeping in the grass. And Garrus Caius puts his head in his backpack and pulls out another Danish and plops it on your feet.
Garakias, this is stealing, Garakias.
Godfrey, you need to teach your pet better.
Then he runs back over to like the first person laying next to the backpack, and he pops up on his back paws and then just jumps on their chest and jumps away, and nothing happens.
Wow.
This is part of the magic of this place. They're not naturally asleep.
Oh, I
Godfrey
think
will go forward and try to check on them medically to make sure they're alive.
Yeah, they're alive. They're just sleeping
Okay.
very heavily.
this he's the god of dreams. It's in your dreams. Godfrey, you can't go because you can't fall asleep.
Oh.
Maybe the case. But luckily, you all haven't fallen asleep, so...
Yeah, what's
That's a
the
good
entry
point.
to this?
You tell me we can't sleep now? Just looks down at the elves, satyrs, with the look of like, "Oh God, I wish that was me."
I think if we fall asleep, we'll be sent there.
That might be the case.
So we're just gonna lay down next to, and Scylla's looking over all these unconscious satyrs. We're just gonna curl up and...
We can go back to our own camp.
It
And
might be
sleep.
better. I guess
Does it look like they had made a camp here to bed down to sleep, or did it look like they were walking and just fell over?
They're on like sleeping pads, but doesn't look like they made much of an effort to actually make a camp. It's more just like they knew that they just needed to go to sleep, so they lay down and went to sleep.
Cool.
Well, I guess then it'll be easy for Godfrey to keep watch over us.
Can we
If
up
anything
above
happens.
table?
Mm-hmm.
So it very much seems like if we go to sleep, we'll be there. But it also seems like Adam can't join us.
Adam's just
I'm
being
sure
a
there's-
sneaky bastard.
Oh God! Okay, I wanted to
I'm
make
just
sure.
playing my character.
Okay,
He
I
has
wanted-
a mask on.
Alrighty.
okay. As long as we aren't going to be doing as long as Adam can do something, as long as we're not excluding him from the adventure, I'm fine with that.
I'm not
I have
fine
full
with that.
confidence. Adam, stay out of this one.
We have a cool club, and you're not invited. Yeah. Okay. I'm good.
Cool.
How do we wake up?
Probably finish the games.
Well, and what happens if we don't wake up?
It's going to be a very long walk home for me. It's going to take a long time to drag all these bodies back.
We have Godfrey and a giant wolf.
Here.
I think this is the risk Nix was talking about. I still think it's worth it. I'm going to do it, but if any of you have reservations, you don't have to.
I've ever heard you hint that you're willing to fall asleep now, and just starts getting out of sleep. Just like, yeah. Finally.
No, I'm with you.
Okay. Morgus?
Yep.
Zip was on the ground in her sleeping bag as you speak. Alright, I can.
Oh, fuck, I'm going in after her. Scylla tries to go to bed like I'm chasing a kid into a nightclub.
All right. The four of you lay down your sleeping pads right next to these satyrs. And as soon as you have breathing has shifted to something of a deep sleep, Garicias looks up at Godfrey. Are you ready, kid?
They're going to be safe here?
Yeah. Safe as anyone else?
Let me just construct some things to try to chase off wildlife that stumble upon this area.
That's a
That'll be
good thought.
to go.
That's a good thought. I'm going to get one more rabbit. And he goes to get one more rabbit. While you do that, give me a survival check.
Ooh, that's not bad. It's a 19, but I'm going to use knowledge of another life to add another d6 to it.
Yeah.
Or a non-natural 20.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. You are able to make whatever you would like. What are you making?
I feel like he just gathers some sticks and strings and like little bells that might be in people's packs to just kind of make something that will start ringing really loudly if things like creep up onto the camp. Like enough to scare away any large or smaller predators away from the place. And he'll be like covering people's like backpacks with some natural scents to try to throw off any unnatural scents that would draw things in.
Yeah.
Maybe light a little bit of a fire to act as like a natural deterrent.
Great.
But like in a nice fire pit so it won't spread and light everything on fire.
Yeah. As soon as you finish that, you hear the crunching of very large hooves coming from the direction you were headed as a large minotaur form breaks through the trees. That is it. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, why not hit that follow button, that like button, that subscribe button? We do one outro for every place that this is available to listen to. So Twitch, YouTube, your favorite podcasting app, however you can follow, like, subscribe, do the thing. Why not? Maybe even tell a friend about this podcast if they're also into fantasy and storytelling. They don't need to be into D&D. At the core of this, we're just telling a great story, right? Appreciate you and all that you do to help us grow further. You can join our Discord community through the link down in the thing. You can also invest in us. You can be a monthly investor, a one-off investor. If you can safely give your dollars, we would really appreciate that. You can do that through our Ko-Fi. Intro and outro by Nolan Clock. Everything else by myself and the cast. I hope you have a really great day.